the dark, and I keep getting stronger. Tonight I hunt with the pride. You can't take my pride away. I can sing with the birds and the trees in the morning, or roll like the storms way over the ocean.
One of the great venues to watch a game in any sport, and one of the best home crowds in any sport, Soldier Field in Chicago. Today, the curtain falls on the regular season, and we've got a good one in store between the Minnesota Vikings and the Chicago Bears. Set to go now on a beautiful sunny afternoon, and off we go from Soldier Field. This fielded right at the goal line, and not a good return here at all as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line.
For most people, the excitement of a kickoff return is to see a long one that goes back in the opposite direction. But for the guys covering it, it's being able to stop them deep in their own territory. How about that incredible form tackle right there? Shoulder into ball carrier, and down he goes.
They'll start by running the option to the right. And he'll be out right at the 35. That time they pick up a 24 yards on the keeper. First down. And this, it's certainly something to watch out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that. And here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it in person, it's a whole different ball game. And all that preparation, it goes right out the window.
First carry now for David Montgomery. Pushes him over. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. The Bears at 2-14 in what's been a tough year. They come in needing just to do something to stop this skid here before the season ends.
And let's face it, everyone now, they're looking to the leaders, both in the locker room and the coaching staff and, of course, ownership, because they've got to get a clear understanding about how everyone feels, because to me, you've got to focus on everyone in the locker room right now. That's what you're playing for. The future, it'll take care of itself.
First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. This, the second meeting of these two teams. You might recall they met back in Week 5. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. Play action. It's Fields. Man open downfield is Gallup. He's got it. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A gain there of 30 big ones.
Execution was one of their watchwords leading up to this one. And on that play, able to execute brilliantly here on this opening drive.
Up the middle, it's Montgomery. And just a couple yards there down to the 17. So not a lineman, but the tight end instead this time, drawing the holding call.
And more what you're getting with tight ends are guys who are much more receiver than blocker. They may be willing, but that might not be their thing. Oftentimes, they'll be the ones getting the penalties.
The tackle goes to Harrison Smith.
But obviously, they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead, now, they're dealing with 2nd and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now. On 2nd down, Montgomery. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. 3rd and long coming up. A shotgun snap, Fields. And this is taken in by Darnell Mooney. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line. So Fields is off, and on comes Cairo Santos for the Chicago field goal. Santos' kick is up and through, and it's 3-0. The Bears hit the scoreboard first.
Well, they started the drive backed up pretty deep, but a nice effort to overcome the field position, get into field goal range on the game's opening possession.
And, Brandon, I think from where they started, the initial thought was, can we get 1 or 2 first downs and help out our defense after we pump the ball away with field position? But as that drive went on, I think their sights got set a little bit higher. They were thinking touchdown, ended up settling in between and coming away with a field goal.
They start the drive with Cook. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, and
he's going to lose a yard or two, taken down behind the line.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves them with 3rd and about 6 yards to go.
You've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. They give him 7 yards on the play, and they do pick up the conversion on 3rd down. 2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Desmond Trufant with a sack. The corner blitz hits home.
They'll make that a 2nd sack here on their first drive out defensively, and not to get ahead of ourselves, but they're on pace for double-digit sacks at this point.
They're going to have to find a way to tamp that down, aren't they? So if you're the play caller, you're telling your quarterback maybe some screens, maybe some draws, hard count, use your voice inflection a little bit, anything to try and slow that pressure down.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it, and he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line.
And I think this is a situation where quarterback coach in the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's 3rd and long, and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just check something down and pump the football.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. And Ndamukong Suh makes the tackle. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
Got his man, and it's called for a Chicago touchdown.
Well, he's been doing this for a lot of years with the arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one.
And I'm telling you, nothing will light up a crowd more than a play like that. Here in the stadium, all eyes were on the receiver streaking downfield, and you know everyone was thinking, throw it, he's open. What a connection there for the touchdown.
And you can see in the next-gen stats, that one 62 yards in the air. This will be fielded inside the 5. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Here's Mon.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
Mon to the air on 1st and 10.
Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack.
Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That's 3 sacks now, and this team came into the game in the bottom 5 in the league in sacks.
Yeah,
What's going on?
It's not been their bread and butter. I don't know. Is a blind squirrel finding a...
They're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Young. And the Bears are going to take possession. At their own 33.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. You know, Charles, season winding down, time to maybe look ahead to the offseason. What do you see these guys going after either in the draft or free agency?
Well, with the season that they're having, just about every position is up for grabs right now. No one is really safe, but the focal point's always the quarterback position. And he may be auditioning to try and stay with his own current team. I think he's auditioning for the rest of the league to try and find a spot because I think this team is looking for a new quarterback. That was a really nice play, be able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free, and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Now it's Fields off the bootleg.
They'll roll him out right. Toward the sideline, it's complete. An athletic grab, but still well short of the first. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line. 2nd and a yard. Now it's the backup Cousins. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
The good news, they kept the ball. Bad news, it's 3rd and long.
Throwing is Cousins. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Cousins gives way to Cook. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Cousins now from the 50.
Swinging this out wide here for Cook.
And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47.
Gotta say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on third and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw.
The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. And the Bears are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll check in with Jonathan Coachman from Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half of play. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Here's Fields. Over the middle to Beckham. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and you can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Fields. Steps away to his left. Over the middle, and that's caught by Kmet. And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this. So now a fresh set of downs. 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Fields. A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
That's a really nice job there by the coverage, understanding that they're in a high-stakes situation. If he doesn't make a play on that ball, there's an excellent chance it ends up either as a touchdown or as a nice gain downfield.
He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. Ndamukong Suh with a sack. We've seen that a ton since he entered the league in 2010.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Vikings are going to take over here up near the 40. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
So we come upon halftime here at Soldier Field with the Bears out in front as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play. This will be fielded inside the 5. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback.
Looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted.
picked off by Jaquan Brisker. And he'll bring this one back to the 29.
And that has to be a little bit discouraging because after all their halftime talk, adjustments, and points of emphasis, their first drive ends with an interception. Absolutely aggravating if you're a head coach because you spent all that time, gone through every situation possible, and it still ends in a turnover.
And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And yet again, he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Great job by this Vikings defense. That'll wind up as a loss on the play, so now they're staring at a 3rd down and 12. Let's see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a 1st down. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And the Vikings are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line. So that, Charles, may be the play that this defense has been looking for.
They've hung in there, and if they lose this game, it won't be from a lack of effort on their part. The key question is, can the offense finally do something? Because we're into the 3rd quarter, and a 0 is still glowing on the scoreboard.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back.
And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. He'll drop to throw. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. And a nice stiff arm. It opens room to run. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A big play that time on the catch and run. 35 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now Cousins to Jefferson on the slant. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10. To throw is Cousins. Setting up the screen for Cook. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
And when you're throwing the ball downfield really well like they have been on this drive, it's really a nice time to work one of the screen plays in. One of my favorite play callers in the game has always told me he starts every game with 10 to 12 screens because if he starts feeling the pressure from the defense, he uses their aggressiveness against them.
A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
They'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
That call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. To throw, Cousins. And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line. Jabari Zuniga. And they're going to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down. Joseph's got it, and they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. Well, the 3 points certainly helps, but you feel like, Charles, at this stage of the game, when you force those turnovers, you need to start converting them into touchdowns.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised myself because I thought in this situation they were thinking end zone or bust. Now they got to rely on their defense to get the ball back again for another opportunity to get 6 points.
And now they'll stop play here, at least momentarily. A member of the Vikings in some discomfort after that last play. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Sliding out of the pocket. And firing a deep ball for Kmet.
And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Now that's a dangerous throw right there. Moving off to his right, throwing it all the way back across field to his left. I know he had a lot of confidence in his arm, but sometimes the ball can just hang up there when it goes that distance. He was fortunate it was just incomplete.
And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
A play fake, now Fields to throw.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Danielle Hunter in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to fourth down.
Here comes the Bears punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. On the return is Peterson. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10.
Man, I just love being in this stadium. So much history, tradition, so many great teams and games. And we're seeing a pretty good one right now. Hotly contested in the third quarter.
And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line.
71 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
Cook with a run on first down, but he'll only manage a couple there before he's taken down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And he's got this to Jefferson.
And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. A good pickup there, 26 yards. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. They'll run with Cook, and he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown.
Dalvin Cook hitting double digits with his 10th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this ball game here in the final moments of the third quarter. Joseph connects on the extra point.
And we are even at 10 apiece. All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away.
And this will come out to the 25 as Jones elects for the touchback.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
And their lead has evaporated in this third quarter. It's tied once more as they begin with a 1st and 10.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Off play action. Fields.
Dancing to his left.
And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
I know he was trying to get the completion downfield, but the way this game has gone, with a few of the runs he's made along the way, he should have kept the ball and taken it with his feet downfield. That's the big play that shreds a defense. Instead, he thought to himself, I'm a quarterback. I've got to throw it. He bailed out the defense with that incompletion.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Say hello to Eric Kendricks. He gets the sack there. Here comes the Bears punter now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. it's Peterson. It's a 45-yard punt, but a decent return there of 9 yards. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Excellent job by their defense to force the punt and provide them with this opportunity, all tied in the 4th quarter. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Cousins now. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Young. And the Bears will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. Well, we say it often, Charles, but not all interceptions are created equally, and that is a big one here in a tie ball game in the 4th quarter.
And, Brandon, when games are this close, it usually comes down to the team making the fewest mistakes, and that was one of our mantras back in Tennessee. Coach Mears used to say all the time, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. You've got to cut those down to give yourself an opportunity. This has certainly been a physical game so far. Limited scoring opportunities for both sides, and there's another chance that goes unfulfilled.
On 2nd down, here's a keeper by the QB. And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Speed is the name of the game when it comes to RPOs, and sometimes you can be a little too quick, thus inaccurate, incomplete.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. And the Vikings are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And the question, can they turn that interception into points? A tie game for the moment in the 4th quarter. Now a deep ball going to be caught here near midfield. The 30. 10, 5, touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Vikings strike quickly to take the lead here in the 4th. Joseph connects on the extra point, and that makes it a 17-10 score. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. No run back here for Jones, a touchback. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. The pressure is on now. They're being shut out here in the second half after a decent first half offensively. They need their best drive of the game right here. Throw right side, taken in by Gallup. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Now Fields. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. Boy, so another interception, CD. It feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit. And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup. Following the interception, Cousins.
Middle of the field to Jefferson. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the Jefferson.
Second and 4 at the 34-yard line.
Second down at 4. Another one on this play for Justin Jefferson.
Now we've got movement up front, and I think this is going to be on Minnesota. The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
Here we go. Throwing, Cousins. That'll be complete to Cook. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
He felt the pressure coming there. That was a good job of just making something out of nothing, so to speak.
Yeah, took the hit and still made the play. You know, when we talk about runners, all right, and on running plays, runs after...
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted.
Picked off by Roquan Smith. And the Bears are right back in this football game.
Well, they're not making it easy on themselves here down the stretch. 2 picks now in the 4th quarter trying to hang on to that lead.
Talk about keeping someone in the game. Instead of being able to shut the door, it's still cracked open because they can come back on you now. The only people who are really happy about those picks, any fantasy team that has this defense.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Fields now to throw.
They'll set up the screen to Montgomery. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's 3rd down.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down.
Back to throw. Fields. And that's intercepted yet again, and that could be the backbreaker. It's Cameron Dantzler who picks it.
And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
Well, based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day, because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
The Georgia man, Roquan Smith, came in and got him. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
Here's Cook again.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now Cousins. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. Touchdown, Vikings.
Justin Jefferson,
45 yards.
And the Vikings look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Joseph connects on the extra point,
and the lead now up to 14. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Velus Jones now from his end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers.
Brings up 3rd down and 4.
To throw is Fields. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And the Vikings are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it. Victory formation time for the Vikings as they'll take a knee here. Victory formation time for the Vikings as they'll take a knee here. Well, somebody lit a fire under that offense during the break, Charles. Remember, they trailed at intermission. They come out, they have the big second half, and that lifts them to the victory.
And, Brandon, trailing at halftime, we always talk about teams making adjustments. You know what the best adjustments usually are? It's just executing better. Because the game plan you put in place at the beginning of the week often still holds. You don't have to make wholesale changes. You just have to do it a little bit better, a little cleaner. And they did that in the second half, and that led them to victory.
So for the Vikings, they get a Week 18 victory to make that final mark a bit more palatable at 6-11. And by just about all accounts, not the type of year they were hoping to have. Meanwhile, for the Bears, they will bottom out as the loss gives them a finishing mark of just 2-15. And you have to figure that this is a team that will look a whole lot different come training camp next July.